So you kind of talked about how you went to Columbus, and from my knowledge, like you worked for the crew for a little bit. Is that right? Like, what was your role there?
It is correct. Yep. Dr. Ryan Hedstrom, as you guys know, helped me to basically try and secure any internship that I could find. And I started reaching out, asking for jobs with, I think it was the Bengals, the Reds, the Crew, and then some other regional areas. And the Crew came back and said, hey, we're going to have this team called the Crew Action Team. And what it was is this group that is just designed to increase promotions before games. So they're mostly college kids walking around with soccer balls, fake tattoos and the blowhorns and t-shirts and everything you can to just kind of keep the crowd engaged. And so from March of my senior year, I started driving back and forth to Columbus. I mean, there was one night where I finished class at 3, game was at 7. I drove, 3.5 straight there, got there, ran the promotions, drove straight back. And I have never been more tired and so, tired of seeing 114 in my life. Just the longest drive, and it's like 6 turns because you get, Columbus and North Manchester is not a bad drive, but it's just really long. And so that role, crew action team, sort of developed into like, hey, I need more hours. What can I do more of? And they started to give me more office work. They started to, let me do some data input for surveys or, fan research or, demographic research of what the fans are doing, what they're buying, what they're not buying, that type of stuff. And then finally, I think they got to a point where my boss was ready to kind of take on bigger things. And so she transitioned me to take over the lead for that team. And so I became kind of like the organizer of where people should be, what they should be doing. The only reason I say I was the organizer is because I had a walkie-talkie. That was, that's what made me the supervisor for that day. But it led to some just really awesome experiences. I had a couple, in interaction with high-level MLS players and crew alumni like Frankie Hejduk. I was able to, one of my other favorite memories is I did the in-game promotions announcing for the Ohio Mascot soccer game. And it's as weird as it sounds, it's every Ohio mascot, college and professional playing a soccer game. And I'm just announcing like, and Rosie Redlegs now, slides in for the tackle. And it's just like, oh, okay, man, how did I get here? But it was such a rewarding experience. And I want to say, like, at the end of my time there, it was either a seasonal job, which would have been really good, and I probably could have developed into something else, or the coaching, opportunity came up. And I still go back and forth. Some days I regret not sticking with it and not staying in the crew and seeing where that would have gone. I had some friends who were in ticket sales or PR. That one of them is now with Austin FC. A couple of them, went to Sporting Kansas City, and so it always is in my mind. But I've been happy with the transition.
When you emceed for that, was that in front of like thousands of people? Or like how did they get you that position there? Were you like not wanting to do that, or was that something you were excited about?
Yeah, so I put that I was the MC for Midnight Madness on my resume, and apparently people look at your resume. I was the MC for Midnight Madness. I am comfortable public speaking, but the role that basically they needed was, it started because I believe a Fox Sports correspondent or a host for Columbus Crew didn't show up to an event. We're at the freshman orientation for Ohio State, and she just doesn't show up. I'm there to shoot a t-shirt cannon. That's it. That's my role. And my boss, Dan, comes up to me and says, hey, got a problem. So-and-so's not coming. I know on your resume you were an MC for a few events in college. He goes, do you think you're ready to do this? And I'm just like, ready to do what? Like, what do you need me to do? He's like, you're gonna be the color commentary or co-anchor, co-host with Frankie. And I'm just like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm fine with what I'm doing. And I'm like, first of all, how many people are there? And I don't know what the freshman class of Ohio State is, but it was the most people I've ever seen in a gymnasium in my entire life. And yeah, I remember saying no like 7 times, and then somehow a shot of tequila appeared, took a shot of tequila, got on stage with Frankie Hejduk, and that was it. Killed it. And from then, I think they started to push more and more that way. And so it actually helped because when I moved into that position as well, it removed someone from that and gave them, obviously they were more experienced in some other roles to help the concourse or help the pregame promotions. And so I would be the one now who would take over the pregame announcing. So, last chance to get your tickets, last chance to do this, go to different places. And I think the height of when I was announcing was, we had like 24,000 fans at a game. And so it's kind of cool if you think about it. It's also, pretty terrifying, but they trusted me to a certain extent, and that, in any job or organization or relationship, to feel trusted is the greatest thing in the world. To just have free reign to say, yep, we trust you. Here's the script. Make sure you hit it. And it was really cool. Absolutely loved it. It's such a weird development of, like, I started out as just this crew action person, and that doesn't even exist anymore. They've kind of changed everything. And then it went to, media and relations and promotions and announcing, and here I am.